Now, we will hear from our distinguished speaker for today, Ms. Sha-En. She's the founder of Happiness Scientists. Actually, we rebranded just before COVID, right? Just before COVID, who will share practical insights on finding joy amid adversity and overcoming life's obstacles. Through stories, science-backed strategies, and mindfulness techniques, you'll learn how to embrace happiness, foster inner peace, and thrive in every circumstance. Let's give a round of applause to welcome Ms. Sha-En on stage.
Thank you, Sha-En, and thank you, everybody. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good, all right. So before I begin, just want to wish everyone a happy International Women's Day. Thank you to the PA for having me here today. So I'd love for you to picture a typical day for you. For me, I'm normally sitting at my desk, working on my emails, and simultaneously also thinking, hey, what's cooking for dinner tonight? And do I need to go to the supermarket to get it? And then at the very same time, I also am cognizant that my phone has got a calendar pop up to say, pick daughter. And in the background, maybe for some of you, there's an invisible pressure because there's always so much to do, and sometimes we feel there isn't enough time. What seems to just be the norm of what it means to be a woman. And in the midst of all of this, just when you're getting the flow, everything's very smooth, you picked up the right daughter at the right place, at least that's for me, boom, something happens that you didn't expect. Maybe something at work that was very demanding, that landed in your lap even though you didn't ask for it. Maybe a strained relationship with a loved one that's keeping you up at night. Or maybe it's just having to be everything to everyone. I don't know if that sounds familiar, but I do have these moments where I feel that way. And so you kind of go and find some respite, you take a deep breath, hoping to find relief. But instead, there's that pressure again. In moments like that, where does joy exist? Can joy exist even when we're going through hardship? Today, I want to challenge the notion that we only experience joy when life is easy. Because I think that it's totally possible to experience joy because of the adversity and the challenges that come our way. Because how else do we experience the highs if we don't experience also the lows? So on your table, you would see some beautiful cutouts of suns. We're going to use that for an activity right at the end of the speech. And I want to also share with you some really practical ways to integrate joy in our lives, to rise above and actually go out there and claim your joy instead of just waiting for it to settle in your hands. So I want to start with sharing with you a little bit about me. Theodora did that with a picture. So many years ago, almost 2 years ago now, I received a phone call early on a Sunday morning, and it was my dad. And he said, girl, I'm in the middle of breakfast and I'm trying to cut the apple, but the knife is stuck in the apple. And I don't think I can make it through breakfast. And I was like, what's going on? What does he mean by the knife is stuck? And I pictured it in my mind. And I thought, hey, this isn't like my father. He's an active person who plays tennis 3 times a week. He's got a vibrant social life. In fact, I don't even feel that he's retired because he seems to always be busier than me. But that was actually the start of 2 years, the past 2 years, of trying to figure out what's happening to my dad. In and out of hospitals, talking to doctors. As you can see, there he is, sitting in the hospital doing leg strengthening exercises because he's got shaking, he's got Parkinson's. And on top of Parkinson's, he also has what we just found out, dementia. And so it could be so easy in moments like that to ask, why me? Why is this so hard? Why is this happening now of all times? And in fact, there was a moment, there's another picture over here that you see, that he called me and he said, "Girl, I don't know what's happening, but I think you need to come." I dropped everything. I was in the midst of a work call. I brought my laptop, and you can see him there in the background, and he just collapsed on the bed. And moments like these, we maybe call these challenging moments, because at that time I did not know what was happening to him. And there were so many thoughts. Why? But in moments like these, if we keep asking why, it could bring us down a rabbit hole of frustration, anxiety, sadness. And of course, we want to honor those emotions because that's part of the human existence. But it's also in moments like that that I ask a very different question. Why not me? After all, my dad's 85 this year. It's about time, right? Not that he should fall ill, but that he is getting on in age. And sometimes, I don't know how you feel about it, but our parents live on in a certain age frozen in time. It was only in those moments that I realized, wow, my dad is really getting on age, so why not me? And why not now? I am a grown adult, I have the capacity to look after him. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I ask, what is this actually teaching me? What am I learning from it? And the result and the answer to me was very clear. It's time to spend that interaction with him in his older age. It's for me to put aside some of the things that I want to do to make time for him, because when I was growing up, it's what he did for me. And by asking that question, those questions differently, I found a very beautiful outcome, and that is making time for him means going to eat soup together. I don't know if you recognize this, but this is a very yummy soup at Veerasamy Road. And so now every other Sunday, we meet up. He just decides where he wants to go, and I become the Grab driver. We just go there, we eat, and we talk. And it doesn't matter if the time is long or short, but what matters is we are together. So when we think about adversity, I hope that the first thing we can do is to reframe it. Adversity doesn't mean it will always be tough. We can find moments of joy, like this simple, humble bowl of soup in the middle of it all. Now, as women, sometimes our lives also feels like this. If you can see the next picture, it's like walking on a balance beam. Take one misstep and maybe you'll fall off. Trying to balance so many things in our lives that maybe we forget that actually joy is all around us, right? And one day I went out for lunch. And after the lunch, I was meeting a new friend that I've never met before. And when I got back home and looked at my phone, this person had dropped me a simple message. You look amazing. And it's so easy to brush it off. Our brain dwells so much more on things that don't go well, the negative thoughts, that we sometimes forget to shift our attentional lens into the things that are going well. So this friend dropped me, you look amazing. How easy would it be to just flick to the next message, right? But instead, I looked at it and say, wow, of course I look amazing lah. Just like today, right? Just kidding. But actually what I really appreciated was the intention that this person had to send me a compliment. And frankly, she did not know how much it meant to me to say, you look amazing. It's not the superficial, it is what was in the heart, in the intent of expressing it. And so I spent time with it. I lingered with it. I appreciated the moment of her thoughts for me. And that's one of the ways we can prolong joy. We savor these micro moments that exist around us. Maybe it's that time in the quiet of the house where you have a cup of coffee. Nobody's up yet. Nobody's asking you to do anything. You just have those 5 minutes where you can savor the coffee. Or maybe it's just you and me, or whatever it is, riding in your car or on the bus and looking around and recognizing, wow, the sun's shining on my face. All these moments are there. The question is, are we looking at them? Are we noticing them? Are we spending time with them and savoring them? Because the more we do this, our brain actually builds up pathways to remind ourselves that in spite of adversity, joy exists. Now, I'm going to show an action on stage, and I want you all to just shout to tell me, what do you think I'm preparing to do? Okay? I give you a clue lah. Some kind of sports lah, huh? Yes, run. So who do we know in Singapore who is well known for sprinting? Shanti Pereira. In 2017, at the SEA Games, Shanti Pereira had this outcome. Now, as you can see from her body language, it wasn't positive. Well, to her view. She came in bronze at the 2017 SEA Games, and newspaper reports started to fly in. There was a lot of media buzz. Shanti is no longer the golden queen of sprinting. She got a bronze. There were so many comments. Some of the harshest comments from online warriors were talking about her weight. Maybe if she lost some weight, she could be faster. And she took it hard. Now, I'm not a professional athlete, but the amount of work that she probably puts in day on day just to be for that few seconds on the track must be enormous. And to come out with a bronze, which for a person like me who can barely make it to a 5K run, is already like, wow. But all she faced was negative thoughts. In fact, the negative thoughts were so consuming that she thought, maybe this is the end for me. Maybe this is the end of my career. But I'm so glad that she did not listen. In fact, she only listened to the close circle of people around her who reminded her of her tenacity, reminded her of her training, reminded her of her capabilities. And so she put in the work. She ignored everything else that came to her, and she just turned up on the track every single day. And let's fast forward 6 years from then, in 2023. Do you remember this moment? Triumphant in her body language, glee in her face, because she came in gold, and after that went on to continue to claim so many more medals. So sometimes when we think, adversity is going to get me down, I want to challenge that. Maybe adversity is teaching us something. Maybe it's about recognizing and knowing where to focus your attention and energy. You focus on the strengths that you have, not the weaknesses, because weaknesses, we all have them, right? Nobody's perfect. But what we can continue to ground deep inside are the strengths that we have within us. So on your table now, I'd love for you to pick up the sun cutout, right? Because I want to share this message that we are here and we can, in spite of adversity, we can claim our joy. Okay, and as you think about what I've just shared with you, there are many ways to do that, right? And if you have the cutout, just like I have on stage, you'll see that, right? And on that, you'll see the words, I claim my joy. So whether it is reframing adversity, right? Whether it is finding the little moments to savor, whether it is focusing on your strengths, I would love for you all to think of one thing that you can do to claim your joy. After all, the theme of International Women's Day is accelerate action. Taking a step forward is something that we can all do. Okay? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to a minute to write something on the sun cutout, something that you can do. Maybe it's just taking time for yourself. Maybe it's spending time with your children. Maybe it's just going for a walk. Maybe it's just saying no. Maybe it's just telling yourself while standing in the mirror, saying, I am awesome, because all of you are. So just a quick one, grab a marker from the middle of the table and just write, what is that one thing that you want to do to claim your joy? Okay, can I just check how many of you have something already written down? You know, sometimes we think very hard, what is that thing? But the easiest way to do this exercise is to think of the most recent thing that brought you joy, right? And for me, I went out on a little date night with my daughter last night. My husband was out, my younger one's at camp, and I went on a date night with my 16-year-old. And to me, that was a moment of joy, just sitting there in conversation. When was that last moment? And can we replicate and schedule it? Okay. All right. I always like to interact with my audience, so we still have a couple of minutes. So I'm going to come down to the tables and I'm going to just ask someone to share what is on their sun-shaped cutout, okay? And then I'm going to bring this whole session to a close. Okay, shall we start with the table over here? Let's come over here. I know someone here, so I'm going to call her Wendy. Come share with us.
Hi everyone. For me, it's doing strength training.
Oh.
I can do it.
Yeah. Wonderful. Can we give Wendy a round of applause? Strength training, telling myself that I can do it. How about a table over here? How about yourself, ma'am?
Oh.
Yeah, maybe just share your name. Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Lee Chan. So one action I want to do is that to exercise daily, spend probably half an hour after work. Yeah, just to keep healthy.
Nice. All right. Let's give Hei-Chan a round of applause. Wow. Exercise. We have a very fit audience, don't we? Okay, let's go all the way to this end. Okay, over here. How about here? Yourself here?
Oh.
Yeah. Come, you want to hold the mic? Yeah. Just introduce yourself briefly.
Hi, my name is Nam. What I want to do is contribute to the community. Because I just want to help.
Right.
Because seriously, I have people helping me.
Thank you so much, Araya. Want to contribute to the community. So sometimes we think it requires a lot of effort, but actually it's in the micro little daily moments of things that we can do, little habits of joy that we can build into our life to integrate it a little further. So I guess to bring everything to a close, in summary, resilience isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's really about learning how to, I'll just say thank you first, but it's about learning to dance in the rain, right? And again, it's experiencing joy isn't only in moments where life is easy. I think, in fact, adversity that's there forces us to find the pockets of joy that exist and learn to cultivate it in our daily life. So I want to ask all of you, are you all ready to claim your joy? Yes, one more time. Are you all ready to claim your joy? Yes, awesome. Okay, help me to show up the stars in the air. Yes, smile for the camera. All right, everyone. I want to say thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day. And go out there and claim your joy. Thank you so much.